Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the latest all-new edition of the Milford Informer. As always, I am your host, Tim Coet. It felt like summer for the first half of this past week, but the last couple of days certainly had that signature crispness of fall in the air. This past week was also filled with some major news items around town. Let's take you through everything that happened this past week as we show you tonight's top stories rundown. Tonight, take a look back at this past Tuesday's special town meeting and find out how town meeting members voted on the potential purchase of the Milford Water Company. Also tonight, see how the Milford Area Chamber of Commerce and Milford TV got together to host a great networking event for local businesses. And later in sports, hear from Paul Pellegrini as he discusses his recent decision to step down as head coach of the Scarlet Hawks baseball team. For the second week in a row, Milford citizens had an important decision to make that would impact their community moving forward. This time it was the town meeting members who had to decide whether or not to greenlight the proposed acquisition of the privately owned Milford Water Company. A special town meeting was convened inside Milford Upper Town Hall, and our cameras were rolling to find out the results of this landmark decision. Tuesday night was finally the night Milford residents made their $63 million decision regarding the potential purchase of the Milford Water Company. The special town meeting featured a 7-article warrant, with each article pertaining to a different aspect of the water company purchase. Before votes were cast, town officials summarized the process that led them to the conclusion that a water company purchase was in the best interest of the town.
This is the opportunity and the time to make this purchase, and we're able to do it. We should do it, and I think together we can make history as a whole body in town. As I stand here today, this team can assure you that we can improve the quality and quantity of the water supply. Along with an elected Board of Water Commissioners, ratepayers will have people to hold accountable, as they do for every other department in town. I hope you support this article.
Ownership. This is another enormous benefit. And I equate this to owning a house or renting an apartment. Right now, we write our checks to the Milford Water Company and we pay our bills. We gain nothing. If we acquired the Milford Water Company and we paid our bills, we are now also paying down our bond. And just like the mortgage for your house, in 30 years, we would own the mortgage company. We would own, the water company and all of its assets.
It comes down to why we would want to do this. Many people have talked about it, and people have insinuated different portions of it, but for me, it's about the quality of the water. If you've seen Fox News out here showing dirty water and brown water that nobody should ever drink, you understand what some of our neighbors and friends are going through. Those individuals setting the budgets and determining how policy is going to be implemented within a water company don't live in Milford. We do. We drink that water and we bathe our children in it. It's for those reasons and all the things that we went through as going through the due diligence and identifying where the rocks were, where the risks were, how we would mitigate those risks, that I feel confident standing before you this evening telling you this is the right thing to do. I didn't come here and I didn't start this process with a belief that that's what we should do. It was over a long period of time. I was professionally skeptical throughout the whole process, and I think our consultants will attest to that. So I thank you for your time and your patience. This town has been talking about it for 50 years. Tonight's the night to get this done.
From there, town meeting members had the opportunity to step to the podium, where passionate pleas were made both for and against the water company acquisition.
What I discovered in reading the reports was everything we were being told was untrue. Repeat, everything we were being told was untrue. It was pure fiction. It's like an Agatha Christie mystery, so I called it the Great Water Company Caper.
We have only 2 sources. One is Echo Lake in Hopkinton, which captures surface water, and a gravel deposit below the Charles River. That's it. The rest is rock. And all of you know that we're nibbling around the edge of tight water restrictions, as you all know, and we have 40B developments forced on us by state law. Our private water company didn't oppose these, nor did they oppose the casino, because they could sell more product. We need to protect our limited water supply, and this acquisition will do that.
The town has been fighting every increase that the water company has applied for. Now they're saying they haven't spent enough money on the capital improvements to keep up with the capital improvement fund. Well, if you're fighting the increase and you're not getting the capital to improve the capital improvements for the town, where do they expect to get the money from? I have a well, and technically, I'm not going to be affected by this. However, as a taxpayer, I am going to be affected by this. I don't know where this money in October is going to be coming from, except from our taxes, certainly not from the ratepayers. They're not paying anything yet. That's not going to happen until March of next year if we purchase it tonight. So I want to know where the money for the double the capital improvements are going to come from and how it's going to be funded by the ratepayers, by the taxpayers. I don't know. Maybe there's a genie.
Eventually, the moment arrived and the vote was called for. A total of 171 votes were cast, requiring at least 115 affirmative votes to reach the necessary two-thirds majority for the proposal to pass. Town meeting members would overwhelmingly vote in favor of the water company acquisition by a margin of 151 in favor to only 20 opposed.
151 having voted in the affirmative, 20 in the negative, 171 votes having been cast. The necessary two-thirds would be 115 votes. Therefore, the motion is carried.
There were 6 other articles for town meeting members to decide on. Article 2, a vote to appropriate $295,000 for legal, engineering, and consulting services. Article 3, a vote to establish a water company and distribution system. Article 4, a vote to establish an enterprise fund for water supply and distribution. Article 5, a vote to appropriate $750,000 to ensure financial viability for the water company during the transition. Article 6, a vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the state legislature to borrow funds for a period of 40 years related to the water system acquisition. And finally, Article 7, a vote to petition the legislature that the water company be dissolved and its assets transferred to the town upon completion of the acquisition. Each of these votes were met with swift and unanimous approval from the town meeting body, giving the town all of the necessary approval and resources needed to move forward with the official acquisition of the water company, which is expected to be completed by the end of this year. Earlier this week, the Milford Area Chamber of Commerce and Milford TV got together to host one of the Chamber's Business After Hours events. The night not only gave local businesses a chance to meet and network, but it also gave everyone a sneak peek at our newly expanded facilities here at the studio. Let's take a look back at this week's event.
Shefali Desai with the Milford National Bank and Trust Company. I'm the Vice President Business Development Officer. I don't have enough words being as a part of the Chamber of Commerce. Our bank strongly believes in the Chamber, and I think all small businesses should believe and get involved more than what they do with Chamber of Commerce, because my personal experience, I've been very involved with the Chamber of Commerce for past 20 years, ever since I started with the Milford National Bank, and all the experience I have is all positive because I get to know all people no matter where I go. Everybody just knows me and they say, "Oh, Shefali, here you again." You know, it just makes you feel good. And the key part is just people know you, people trust you as they see more and more. So I strongly recommend all small businesses to go to all the meetings, as many as they can, so people see your face and not just once in a while. and that's the key, is the get more involvement, get involved with different committees, and that's the only way local people and local businesses get to know you and all about your business.
Being a part of the chamber is great because I think it's important to be a member of the business community. When your clients are in the community, I think you need to be part of that community. So being a member of the chamber connects me to other business owners.
With previous experience with the chambers, I had my own business and I worked for other companies, and I was able to join the chamber a few times. This is actually my third time being a member of the chamber, and it's just such a great asset, especially for local places that are looking to expand or to get into the area. You know, the chamber is a great resource to use to expand your business in, to get a knowledge of the area just as well.
I went into business for myself about, 2003, and at that time I didn't really know a whole lot about the people in business and the different types of businesses in the area, and it's been just really eye-opening, finding out what's available, who's there, the different types of business and the different types of resources, and it's been a huge help and very interesting to learn.
The Chamber will help local businesses, I believe, through giving them visibility. A lot of times gives them a great way to market their businesses to other business. As you know, a lot of business do business-to-business transactions, creating referral groups and spheres. So I think the Chamber not only provides education, but also a great platform to be able for businesses to exchange their ideas and also cross clients.
Unfortunately, we were unable to secure footage from Milford's Week 3 football matchup at Canton High School. What we can tell you is that the Hawks were able to come through with their first win of the season. William Pointer got the night off to a strong start, breaking free for a 51-yard rushing touchdown to open the scoring. Milford would also get a rushing TD from quarterback Ryan Pearl, and Jack Philander would recover a fumble in the end zone to give the team a defensive score, and in the end, Milford would walk away with a 21-19 road win. The team is back home this week, taking on North Attleboro. If you're tuned into The Informer on its first airtime on Friday night, we encourage you to check out our live streaming coverage of the game via the Livestream mobile app or on our website at milfordtv.net. Meanwhile, as everyone's attention is on the fall sports season, a major story involving one of Milford's spring sports teams broke late this week. After 5 years as head coach of the Scarlet Hawks baseball team, Coach Paul Pellegrini has decided to step down from the position. Coach Pellegrini enjoyed a distinguished tenure as head coach, leading the team to the playoffs in all but one of his seasons. After his decision was announced, I met up with Coach Pellegrini over at Fino Field to discuss his time with the baseball program and what led to his decision to step away. It will be a new era for Milford baseball when they take the field at Fino next spring. After 5 successful seasons at the helm of the Scarlet Hawks baseball program, head coach Paul Pellegrini has decided to step down from the position. As Coach Pellegrini explains, it was a decision made with his family at the forefront of his mind.
I'm not going to say it's been a long time, but it's been a little bit. It just, you keep getting the questions when you get home. Daddy, where were you? How come you had practice tonight? You had a game? Where was your game? He goes, you haven't been to a game all year. So that grows on you after a bit. It's just a reality. I enjoy coaching my daughter. She does a lot of travel softball, in-town softball. Pretty athletic, plays soccer, plays basketball as well. Little guy Santino started t-ball a couple years ago. I've been to one of his games, and they play right here, and I still don't get to them. So, he's very active, plays football and basketball now, and it's just something I don't want to miss. I enjoy. Believe me, I love coaching Milford High baseball. I played there. I've been involved with it for the past 14 years. It wasn't an easy decision, but it's a decision that I had to make. So.
After seeing Milford's 3-plus decade-long streak of playoff appearances come to an end in 2016, Coach Pellegrini led a resurgent effort for the Hawks this past year, returning the program to postseason competition. I asked Coach Pellegrini if that played a role in his decision to step away now.
To me, it doesn't matter what type of team I would have. It was a fact that my kids are not 2 and 6 anymore; they're 6 and 11, and and like I said before, I'm not going anywhere. I live in town. I'm on multiple athletic boards, youth boards. I'm just looking at what I plan on doing is bringing my enthusiasm and my coaching experience down to the lower levels to really help build for the future. So in one way I'm gone, but in another way I'm not. So like I said, I've enjoyed my time there. I look forward to the future. Milford's got a ton of good athletes, and I want to help develop and continue with in the route that Peter Boucher has the high school going, and our youth programs are doing pretty well, and I just want to contribute to that and make sure we stay on that same path.
Athletic Director Peter Boucher has already made the announcement that assistant coach Alex Dion will take over the program in the spring of 2018, a decision Coach Pellegrini wholeheartly agrees with.
No-brainer. I mean, it's he's a 28-year-old kid. He acts like he's 40. And I've been telling Boucher for a couple of years now. I said, this kid knows more baseball than I do. I don't want to tell anybody that, but he really does. He's a real student of the game, and he really can take it from the paper and pencil and bring it to the field. He's been working. I don't want to say it, but I really haven't had to do with anything with Aiden Wild's development, just a little bit. But Alex has been working with him the past 3 years, and you can tell. Look at Aiden. He's been in my mind, the best player in the league, consistent-wise for the past 3 years, and you've got another year coming. So, but Alex in that spot is no brainer to me. He's up at the school. He teaches up there. He coaches the freshman football team, helps out with the varsity, and he just knows what he's doing. Some of the stuff he brings to me, and it's just stuff that sometimes you overlook, and he doesn't miss much. He's going to be a pretty good coach. Like I said, he's a good student, and I expect him to be just as good as a coach.
The baseball team will experience a lot of roster turnover when they take the field in April, but Coach Pellegrini remains optimistic about the future of the program.
We have different kids step up each year. Obviously, we lost 11 seniors this year. That's tough to replace. And most of them were starters. We have a pretty good junior class, but they got to work hard, and they know that. So our younger classes are pretty good. Our freshman class last year was all right. We get an incoming freshman class that's pretty good. So my job is hopefully to help, help with the youth programs. Hopefully we get a middle school team together. That's currently what I'm working on with Peter, and that'll help catapult the Milford baseball a little bit further. So they should be okay this year. They get some young arms. They get some kids that really want to play, and that's kind of what you're looking for. So nowadays you get a lot of kids that just play for the heck of it, but we got some baseball kids coming, and Alex will know exactly what to do with them.
Looking back on 5 years as head coach and a total of 14 years on the Milford baseball coaching staff, I asked if there was one particular moment or game that stands out the most.
I don't think any of them stick out. Each class brought a different thing, different flair to each season. So I got to say, our game in Sharon, I think, where Peter Schuler made we were tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 8th, and Peter Schuler made an incredible diving catch out in center, that with no outs, and then we turned a double play the next inning, and then Scotty DeCapo had a torn ACL before coming into the season, got up with the bases loaded and 2 outs and hit a shot over the head, and we ended up winning the game 4-1, which helped us get into the playoffs that year. If we lost that game, we were out. Then we ended up winning the next game to go on to the playoffs, and so that's one of them. But we've had a lot of fun. Baseball's ups and downs, and in Milford, we've got a lot of characters. These kids, we had our friend Alex Masick last year. You wish you had kids like him, on every team. So I've just truly enjoyed my time being here. I enjoy coaching the kids. I enjoy getting to know them all. And it's nice when you see them, a little bit later. Hey, Coach, how are you? It's kind of, they don't forget. So neither do I.
We wish Coach Pellegrini well, and we look forward to checking in with his progress as he works to expand the youth baseball programs in town. And as we shift back to fall sports, we can tell you that Milford TV was out at the soccer field again this week, covering the Lady Hawks as they matched up with the powerful offense of the Foxborough Lady Warriors. That game is currently up and running on the Educational Channel and on YouTube, so we encourage you to check out this great Davenport Division rivalry. And now let's move on to this week's upcoming events. Coming up on October 14th, the Milford High School Hospitality and Tourism Management Program will be presenting their third annual Stacy Middle School Color Run. Bring the whole family for a morning of fun that will help benefit your local middle school. All proceeds from the run will help with gymnasium technology as well as the sports programs over at Stacy Middle School. The Color Run is taking place on Saturday, October 14th at Stacy Middle School. Registration begins at 8 a.m. and the Color Run begins at 9:30. There will also be a fun run for kids 9 and under beginning at 9 a.m. For more information or to find out how to register, just send an email to htm@milfordma.com. Also on October 14th, Alternatives, along with the Rotary Club of Milford, will be presenting the 5th annual Milford Fall Family Fun Day. This exciting seasonal event will include live music, refreshments, games, crafts, a Halloween costume contest, and much more. The whole day is free fun for the whole family. The Fall Family Fun Day is taking place on October 14th over at Milford Town Park from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. For more information on the event, log on to alternativesnet.org/familyfunday. And coming up on October 15th, join our good friends over at the Bay Path Humane Society as they host their 8th annual Paws and Claws 5K Run Walk. Enjoy a scenic run or stroll through beautiful Hopkinton State Park during peak foliage season, and make sure you bring your favorite four-legged friend with you. Proceeds from the 5K will help benefit animals housed at the Humane Society. The Paws and Claws 5K is taking place on Sunday, October 15th, over in Hopkinton. For more information, head over to the website baypathhumane.org. That is all we have for you on this week's show. Next week, we will have a full recap of Milford's Week 4 tilt with North Attleboro, and we'll also take a look back at the Milford Senior Center's Senior Expo. Once again, we thank you so much for joining us. From all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.